Good evening, good day, good morning, good night, early good morning for some of us today. This is the Real Tennis Podcast. I didn't check, but I think we're at podcast 53. I think we're
51.
50. No, we're definitely past 51.
Okay.
But tonight we have a special guest, effort to bring people who are brave and bold and willing to stand our crazy madness on our podcast. But before we get to a special guest this evening, I am going to introduce my hostesses with the mostesses. First, we have Andreen, who has been homeward bound for quite a while now. So,
Mm.
not traveling, but Andreen from Solely Tennis Travel.
Hello.
And we have Kato Killen of Podcast, our foreign correspondent, who is a little bit under the weather. She's a little hungry, so
I'm
she's angry.
angry.
Janina.
Feeling very, very angry.
And our special, and there is reels, of course, just to let you know. And our special guest this evening is Renee Denfield at Renaissance on Twitter. He is all the way from Rome this evening. Well, good morning in the morning for him, but evening for me. Hello, Renee. Welcome to the
Hi
Real Tennis
guys,
Podcast.
thank you for having me. Yeah, it's not all the way into the morning. It's like normal hours for me. It's all good.
Oh, so you're a night owl, apparently.
Oh yeah, totally, totally.
And he has a
Oh,
sexy
yeah.
voice, so that helps.
mm. And he's
That's just
German.
that's just
Well,
the
he's
the
blonde and
grind,
blue
the
eyes.
grind. Yeah, that's just the grind of travel life.
Do you have blue eyes?
Oh my God, are you? What is
Is this
this?
happening?
No,
I'm
we're not
just
gonna. We're not gonna start it that way. No.
Oh, no, we're not? Okay. Can't ask those kind of questions just yet.
So, Renee, you're in Rome. You've just come from Madrid, correct?
No, hold on, Renee. Before we go, Ginny, not to cut you off, Renee. Why don't you tell us about yourself? Let the fans know who you are. Some people may not follow you. Not all our followers follow Renee, but we're gonna make sure that all our followers do follow him, and all his followers
Oh,
follow us.
that's true. No, yeah, I am 28. I'm German. I studied meteorology and sort of do this whole tennis thing a little bit on the side, and I decided to do the whole clay swing in Europe this year, which
Ooh.
has been entirely entertaining, and spent a lot of time in Stuttgart at the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix the other 2 weeks ago, and now I did Madrid at the Caja Mágica, and did a lot of writing for Tennis Island, which was very enjoyable, and a couple of things here and there for some German folks, and yeah, all good.
Now you're in Rome.
I am in Rome. Yes, I've just arrived. I'm right next to the Vatican, which is
Ooh.
quite nice. hmm
We'll pray for
Better
you.
behave.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a good boy this week. I promise.
So,
Find out where the
part of
bodies
this
are buried.
and part of this clay swing, you're going to Paris as well.
Nope, I will be heading back home into my cozy little four walls four walls in Germany
Oh,
after
okay.
Rome, because then I've done like 3 tournaments in 4 weeks, and
You need to
boys
make
got
real
to
money,
rest.
right?
and I need to make real money. Yeah,
So
where the
that's
money
good.
at? Where the money at, Reels?
And, and literally, you make it rain, right? Your money makes it rain.
You
Make
should
sure
see me.
you're
I'm finger snapping as I go along.
Oh no.
and yeah, we gotta give you a toot for that. I'm telling you. See, I know how to pick them. You see, the people know the real experience when they come on the show. What we give to them. Thank you. Yes. So.
Okay.
You just came. Well, for me, this podcast is entitled, You Can Miss Me in Madrid. 'Cause
Oh shit.
because, at the beginning of the year, Andreen mentioned, she went into this whole, she had a little tiny thesis, stating, oh, we should definitely get rid of Madrid. There's no point to this tournament. There's no real preparation for Roland Garros. It's not even real clay. But I put an asterisk there because Federer won a title or two there, so I'm not trying to be mad at anybody.
That is
You
so
know.
disrespectful.
I
Like,
know. I know. It
and
is.
actually, one of Vidal fans at Brad Hunter went into this whole long thing, but he was not spilling any secrets. Where he said, like there is no point to this tournament. It treats women poorly. The clay is shitty. The altitude is too high. I mean, like, and I don't know if a lot of people came out to show up at this tournament. So, and the ladies this week was piss poor. So, Renee, you were there in the.
Oh my God! You can't make that statement.
Well, he just did.
All right.
Too late.
You can disagree with me, like vehemently. You can.
All right.
But Renee, you were there in Madrid. Tell us what was going on in Madrid. Let us know.
Madrid was
Eyewitness account.
very interesting. It was very interesting. On the women's side, it was wild. I mean, like after I got to Madrid on the Thursday evening, and they did all access hour on the Friday, and main draw got underway the first round on the Saturday already, and that was just. It all happened very quickly. The same can be said for some of the seeds, unfortunately. I mean,
Yeah.
I think on the Sunday was, for me, the Sunday was just, I still hadn't caught my breath on the Tuesday from the Sunday because you had 26 women's matches, and I was just trying to get it
Find a
all.
Meldonia.
I'm not going to go there tonight. I'm not the one, Reels. Nope.
It's legal
yeah.
for you, It's all good for you.
I'm not sure it's legal in Germany, but never mind. The Sunday was pretty wild with like 26 women's matches, and it was tough to keep track. And lo and behold, of course, Angelique Kerber as a second seed and Agnieszka Radwanska as the top seed of a clay premier mandatory event, which I'm still not quite sure what to make.
A little bit weird, huh?
Yeah, that was weird. And she herself actually admitted, because she was asked, like, so what do you make of that? And she was like, weird. And she lost to eventual finalist Dominika Cibulkova. So it was on the women's side, it was a pretty wild draw, and it felt like very much an even level playing field heading into the tournament, and it was just that. It was just one seeded player making it into the quarterfinals, I think. And yeah, it was
because
it was just
but
wild.
you made a rather interesting point on Twitter. I would say, 'cause, I do read your stuff. You said, why are people really complaining when the fact that both these women have been major finalists? So it's not like they are piss poor tennis players; they are pretty good and solid players. Cibulkova is coming back from an injury, so she's working her way back up to the top ranking. So this is not really that far fetched.
No, I mean, for me the thing is, like, I saw Halep like pretty much close up hyperventilate on court 2 weeks ago, and I did not think that she was the biggest question mark out of all the top 10 players heading into Madrid on the women's side. She was like one player where I was like, okay, I have no idea what to make of you at the moment, and I have no idea what you're capable of, and I think this might just be like one of those weeks where you can make a statement or just wither and do nothing at all, like you've done in quite a number of other tournaments this year. So, pretty good week fantastic week for Halep, who actually looked. I mean, 2 weeks ago in Stuttgart after she played Fed Cup at home, which is immense. I think that is something that some people just do not really understand, like how much of deal she is in Romania. She's like basically someone like a Kobe Bryant of Romania. Seriously, I mean, this is like the most famous sports person of the country who can't walk a meter outside of her flat without being recognized and mobbed. That's essentially the idea that I get from what I've heard from her and from others over the past few months and weeks, and it was good to see that she, instead of just saying, "Oh, I feel good," she actually looked like she felt good. So,
Well, I mean, Renee, the other thing I wanted to know is, it's really good to have that sort of context, because I'm curious if that's what's been going on with her. But also, what's the take on whether she needs surgery? I mean, is this a sinus thing? I mean, like, what was going on? I thought she was not well.
Yeah, it sounded like she was planning to do some sort of a surgery after the Australian Open, because she had all sorts of stuff going on during the off season, like issues also then with her breathing and so on and so forth as far as I'm aware, she wanted to do that, but she was let's how to put this into nice words. She was asked to play Fed Cup right after the Australian Open. So
sure.
If she had done the surgery, she would have been out for Fed Cup, the two Middle East tournaments in the Middle East. So instead, I think she decided to postpone it in order to try and be on good terms with everyone, including the Romanian Tennis Association. I don't know what they're called. That would be my take on it. Just trying to make things right for everyone.
Well, it's interesting because that realistically was probably the best time for her to do that, because the season sort of ramps up pretty seriously from here on in.
I mean, when she's supposed to do it next between Wimbledon and the Olympics, like
which is why in some ways I have to say I'm not quite on the bandwagon yet. Similar to the reason why I'm not on the Raonic bandwagon, because I know he's carrying an injury, and it's going to show up and flare up in some space when you least expect it or want it, and the best time for that is during a slam, don't you think?
Oh, totally. But for me, the thing is with Halle was like she had a good run. She played her best tennis, in my opinion, of the past 7 or 8 or 9 months.
Definitely.
10 months even. Looked really, really good against Stosur and against Cibulkova. Like the thing with Cibulkova is she actually got bageled by her in her second set the last time they met at the Aussie Open. 2 years ago or something, and for her to pull this out in straight sets and play some really good tennis, serve pretty well, not be pushed around all the time and try and dictate play herself whenever it was possible, I thought she looked pretty good. And the sinus thing, like I know that from my dad at least. My dad had a similar issue with also in terms of breathing with his sinuses, and it's not something that you have to do, but it's recommended that you do it at some point. And I think for her, the option was to do it during that time frame.
Okay.
It might have been diagnosed during the off season or something like that. So I reckon it's something that she'll get done at the end, maybe at the end of this year. It's not something that is like immediate, like
pressing.
I don't know, a torn ACL or something.
Okay. But I also thought she had an Achilles issue as well. But I guess that's sorted itself out.
That is, I mean, that is just the thing with, I think, quite a number of women that we've been talking about at the beginning of the year, like with Muguruza, with her jogger's heel or jogger's foot, plantar fasciitis or something. I think that's the name for it.
Plantar fascia, yes.
Yeah, I asked her a couple of weeks ago about, like, so how's that going for you? Because you've spent quite a lot of time on clay. How is your foot holding up at the moment? Because it's something that can flare up quite often. She said, no, it's okay at the moment. It's all right. And I mean, there's a number of women who are carrying injuries around with them that are being medicated constantly, and if they were to be in surgery, they'd probably be out for a good 6 or 7 months. It's the same with Serena's knee. I mean, we all know that she got an injection before Hopman Cup, and that is essentially what messed up Hopman Cup for her, because her knee hadn't recovered from the injection again and from all that. And I think it's just something that people will always carry injuries around with them. And unless we cut down tennis to a 6-month schedule in a year.
Because if that's happening.
There you go.
I mean, so tell us the deal. What's your sense of how Madrid handles the WTA?
I think Madrid is trying. From all that I can gather, they're trying to incorporate the women as well as they possibly can. The issue with Madrid for me is that they had it as an indoor tournament from 2002 until 2008. It was in the fall. And then with the roadmap redesign and with Berlin falling...
because Hamburg used to be the...
Berlin... Still sad about Berlin, in case you haven't noticed, as a German.
It used to be a good tournament, by the way.
It's a great tournament.
It was really good. So that sort of fell through in terms of sponsorship. So Ion Tiriac said, hey, I want a Premier Mandatory. So he got a Premier Mandatory with all the money that he's got, and they decided to have a combined tournament. I think that was from 2011 on. Something like that, because I remember the first 2 years that Rome and Madrid were still back-to-back and it was not combined yet. So I think they're trying their best to incorporate the women as well as they can. But when you've got situations like the one with Teague and Keys essentially walking on court and Tony Cho having to lead them off the court again because they had to move Monfils and Cuevas from Arantxa Santos to the Estadio 3, and you basically see a women's match getting kicked off for a men's match, that is just terrible optics for the WTA, I thought.
Well, not only is it terrible optics, though, I just have the sense, and I think in a weird way, I don't blame the tour. I don't blame the WTA, but at some level, we have to also admit that there are some places where they clearly prefer the ATP.
Yeah,
and it's not the women's fault. You know what I mean? It's like you can talk about it openly. Like Madrid does not care about the ATP. I mean, does not care about the WTA in the same way. The fans aren't there. You know, only if maybe a Spanish female player is playing have I seen any real interest.
And they are losing in qualifiers, qualification.
No. But I mean, like, no, we had a couple. We had two. We had Carla and we had Muguruza, and they were really there for those two. But beyond that, I didn't really get a sense that Madrid was sort of generally excited or the audience was excited for the WTA. Did you have that sense?
I think overall over the past couple of years that is something that a lot of people would put their signature underneath. That in general it's a tour where the crowd that is attending the tournament might possibly prefer to watch men's tennis over women's tennis. I think that is something that you can take away from the event and from the from Madrid itself. On the other hand, the thing for me is sitting on the center court on the Manolo Santana for a couple of matches, not too many matches because you had so many matches going on that you keep talking to players left, right, and center, and you're running back and forth from the mixed zone to the press conference room to your laptop and maybe to an outside court. So you're basically always hustling. It is, for me, I actually enjoyed the center court in Madrid more when the roof was closed than when it was open. Does that make sense? Probably
Why?
not.
Why?
Because it felt more like even when the roof is open, it feels very indoorsy because it is such a the colors, it's all very grey and metallic, as you might have noticed due to
it does not show
amount
well
of
on TV, no.
VIP boxes nearby the court. There are a lot of those, and once the roof was closed, it felt a bit more. It felt cozier. Yeah,
and the noise level. I think it made the noise level seem like more people are in the stadium.
I think that is a good takeaway and a good interpretation of how I perceive things. Yeah.
I wasn't so. I mean, for me, the ladies. I mean, I would take it back. The ladies weren't so pissful, but I mean, like, I think what we are struggling with is that the women are not like the personalities. I guess is probably what we're missing.
Look,
that wasn't me.
Yeah, Spain is a lot about men's tennis. This is, without throwing a lot of shade, but this is the country that said that where top players' uncle can freely say, "Oh, I don't think a woman's good enough to talk about to talk about men's tennis and to lead a Davis Cup team."
And where the Fed Cup women had to press for more support.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. If I remember, that was just a couple years ago. The Spanish women really wanted, they essentially were going to bring a case against the Fed Cup because they wanted more support. Didn't that happen?
Yeah,
that did
happen. Something along those lines, yeah.
I mean, for me, and then also, what I also wonder is why Tyriak's comments about the women didn't get as much sort of pushback this time around.
The thing with Tyriak is I'm not. Tyriak is the tournament owner.
Yeah.
But he is not the director.
Yeah.
Unlike Raymond Moore was the tournament director.
Okay.
Was the tournament director. I think Tyriak is the owner. I'm not going to lie. I found the sheer hilarity of having probably the two women with the shortest legs in the women's final.
I know, I thought so too.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
I did as well. I was like, well, I guess you're not going to be looking at these legs.
It was not. I'm not throwing shade or anything, but usually the universe has a way of paying things back. But But yeah, I found that interesting. I read the original comment by Tyriak. I found it eye roll worthy,
Yeah.
but I found it just that basically because Jan Tyriak has said a lot of things at some points over the past decade or so where I thought, well, let's just agree to disagree.
Well, you
Or,
can't.
let,
Well,
or let's just agree to cash your check. I mean, at this point,
exactly. I
do you
mean,
know what I
this
mean? Like, you
Yeah.
need people to run tournaments, so you
you
might have
can't
to.
tell him, like, oh well, you know what, T-Rex, your comments were disgusting. We're not showing up in Madrid anymore. We're gonna do like reels and miss you in Madrid. But that's not happening. I mean,
No, it's not going to happen.
his comments are very much in vein, or very much in the same vein as Moore. But Moore was some old white man from South Africa, and he was the director, as you say, so he's clearly expendable. We could push him in the back room and pretend like, oh, he's not in the front room anymore. You won't see him. But no one's got rid of Moore. Is still gonna be in tennis because with in seconds of Moore's comments came out, there were defenders saying, like, don't forget who this man is. He did so many great things for tennis, et cetera, et cetera. And we here pointed out, Andrini in particular said that like most comments were not surprising because
No.
people have said these things before, and he was clearly comfortable in saying it, and Tyriak is saying
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. I agree. I think it's a sense of mindset. When you've got that mindset and when you're surrounded by people who are your peers, who allegedly or who you perceive to have a similar train of thought in general,
Yeah.
then you're much more at ease when it comes to saying these things. With Tyriak, I don't know how tongue-in-cheek it was or not, mainly because we do not have any. It's just the
Written, right?
transcript. You just have
Yeah.
I saw that it was on it was online in English, but I went over to check the original interview on El Mundo, and it could be tongue in cheek, it could be that, but it is the written word, and I'll take it for what it is.
Yeah.
I've got thoughts, and it is what it is, but I don't think that also like Tyriak's just when you take Tyriak's comments just as a broader, I don't think they should be the headline for the entire event or
No.
how the entire event tries to treat the women's tour, which I think they do.
Well,
they
women
do try
in
their
general.
best.
I mean, they have like skinny. Well, what was hilarious this afternoon is that one of Andy's ball, I think, Novak ball, got in the fence, and the commentator had to say, "Well, the women are not tall enough to get the ball." Because it's just like, why are they these
Well, because
supermodels?
they're appendages. They're appendages. They're just models.
Right,
my
you know
Ball
what I mean?
models.
They're not there to do it.
I'm not even going to talk about the ball chicos and
Women.
the ball chicas. It's like
I mean, listen, I mean, it sounds so strange, right? I mean, I enjoy the look of the tournament. I definitely get what he's saying, right? You got to get people's interests involved, and if models are going to do that for you, that's fine. I mean, you could also have male models, because hey, why not?
they had male ball kits. Ball kits.
Oh, there you go.
I
They're
didn't see
models.
any.
For the women's
I didn't
finals,
see the models. Oh, they have male models. I don't know if
I'm
that
not
makes
sure
it
if they're
okay or
models
not.
or not. I didn't.
Oh, Renee,
Ask Reels. Reels
Well,
really.
I will know because only because it's so clear.
that was a
I'm looking at.
quiet shade from the gentleman right there. Quiet shade. So what you're trying to say, Renee, is that they weren't up to your standard, right? They just
Okay, but can I just want to round this
Yes.
like last series of questions out with, and then I can stop talking about it. But I'm just curious though, when you have a tournament like this, when you have a tournament like this where you kind of have the sense that there's a work in progress around highlighting and featuring the WTA. Like, what do you think? What can a tournament really do though to show good faith in terms of really taking the WTA seriously? Is it like the way that they're placing the matches? Not all of the matches early in the morning and then all the you know what I mean, like appetizers and the main course kind of setup.
Yeah, I think that's one important. It's just actually to feature them for what they are. I mean, the problem is with Madrid, as you said, is that it is a bit of an outlier in terms of just general conditions, and you're going to get some weird results in there. It's bound to happen. It happened this year. You had quite a number of folks who you probably didn't expect to be in the semifinals, put it one way. and I think that's what makes it more difficult. And also, let's be honest, Serena decided not to attend Madrid and head straight to Rome. There was no Maria Sharapova.
Mm-mm.
So you've got two big names that weren't playing, and then you've got Victoria Azarenka, who twists her back in her first match, and after 2 matches says, "Buenas noches, Madrid."
All right.
So and then it gets a bit tougher. It's just by the same virtue, cut out Roger, Rafa, and Andy or Novak. I don't know who's going to be more disastrous for the men's field if when you cut out one of those two. But
You could cut out Novak. I mean, let's be honest. I don't think Madrid would mind. I mean, listen, are we going to pretend that Madrid's crowd has problems with Novak?
are we going to pretend that Novak's got problems with Madrid's crowd?
Yes, that is true. Today he was not feeling them at all.
That crowd is cruel to Novak. They enjoy
That crowd is cruel. I mean, like, look, they were like that guy who was in Dominic Thieme's box.
Listen, they were
guy, because I'm telling you, they lived on every single Murray point. When Murray fucked up that, they were like, oh. I mean, like a whole row. Like this was like a whole section. It was just like that was
basically, it was like the gladiator, and they were cheering for the lion. Okay, that's not how we do it. That's not how we do it.
That's how I do it.
I mean, maybe they felt the sting of the loss of Rafa. Do you think ultimately it was just they really wanted Rafa in that final? No.
Yeah, they did. But if they saw the match that I saw between Rafa and Andy,
yes,
you knew that whoever was going to win that match was going to get bulldozed by the winner of the match.
Oh my God! Are you revealing?
Thank you. I mean, like,
because that match was not.
But it is so
great.
true. It is so true. When I saw the results, I asked Reels and Janina because I wasn't prepared to get up for that match, and I said, was it the fact that finally someone was exposing Rafa, or was Andy Murray that great? And there was some conflict as to which it was. We didn't know.
Which I completely understand because
they were a hot mess. I mean, like,
it was just
it's a good thing that Andy that played yesterday, he left that Andy after the first set, because had that Andy showed up from yesterday today, I mean, I'm telling you, there's a possibility of a golden set. There was that possibility running through there because it was so messy. I mean,
it was not good. It was not. It was. I thought like the first 2 or 3 games of the second set were actually enjoyable, but then you had like, I don't know. It's been a bit of a topic of discussion over the week. It's like, so Novak Djokovic decides to butcher each overhead in 2013, 14, 15. Then he stops. He actually manages to hit decent overheads, and now no one else other than Djokovic can hit an overhead. It's like, what's going on here?
I'm telling you, there were so many ugly misses. It's just like how you miss it? What? Like, it's crazy.
The best was when Rafa missed the overhead and he facepalmed himself.
He was anxious.
And I was like, I feel you. No, he was not anxious. He was not nervous, as he.
Is that what he said?
Explained afterwards. Yes.
What did he say? What did he say?
What did he have to say for himself?
He felt that today, well, not today, but 2 days ago, it was not in that day. It was not enough. But overall, he's happy with how he started his clay season and having been able to get 13 wins under his belt, which is more than he did in the entirety of 2015. Before the French Open, and
I can see that.
I get your angle, but on the other hand, I am so not on the Rafa's back exclamation mark.
No, he's not at all.
I am not there.
He's not at all.
To me, he's playing the same tennis, not quite the same, a slightly improved version of his tennis from 2015 on clay. His forehand is not quite the
he cannot boss the points around.
But it's not quite the disaster it was last year to me. But it is still. I think he's playing on increased on somewhat increased confidence compared to last year, but overall,
Not tactically any different, right?
No,
Because that's
no
that's the
match.
thing that's the thing I'm finding that's interesting is like when people say I really have wanted someone and I've been demanding it because I really find it suspicious the way we can't talk about what's how Rafa's improved because he hasn't. Do you know, like I
We
mean,
can't
like
name it, right?
like no one
We
will
can't
name, no
describe
one
it. We
will,
can't say
no one
exactly
can
what it is.
say, you know what I mean? Somebody can, usually when someone improves, they'll say, well, they're serving bigger, their forehand has gotten more stable, their backhand is better. You can probably point at all those things for Nole. But this year, there's nothing you can point to that says that Rafa is necessarily even better.
yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just it's tough. It's tough to point it out because you say, or for example, I also have got the feeling that he's half a step slower for the last 1.5 or 2
Yep.
years.
Yep.
That's just the impression that I
And
get.
he is.
And with one thing comes another. With that comes just being a half step slower, being half a second later to some of the shots. Like
Yeah.
the number of shots that he framed or didn't hit in the center on during that semifinal match against Murray. If I had to make a list, I'd need the whole fucking. I'd need a book as long as War and Peace to make all those thoughts and points.
Well, and also the fact that in some ways that Andy Murray can actually even hang with Rafa. I mean that's really
Well, that's
to
the thing,
me
too.
that's interesting to watch. Like when you
Because
watch them
Murray
play
wasn't
out.
playing good tennis. Murray wasn't playing tactical tennis. I mean, so many times I'm like, Murray, why are we hitting the ball to net out? Why? Do you not see him standing there with nothing to do?
But that's what Murray does though. Murray did the same thing in the match today.
He
Yeah,
sure did.
no,
That's why I went to
Yeah,
bed.
yeah, he doesn't. I mean, like it's interesting to watch that Andy Murray. Some people try to wrong foot Nole, some people try to go behind him, whatever. But Andy Murray is just completely content to just keep hitting the ball back and forth. Like, what?
Is your last name Gilles? Is your name Gilles Simon or something?
I was watching it. I was like, well, are you going? I mean, and in some ways, it was really a testament to the fact that what's great is that you can predict that there may be some Nole dips now, and then if you can capitalize on it, you can probably maybe steal a set. But it just doesn't ever feel like. It didn't feel as I watched the match that Murray had sort of risen to Nole's level.
I felt Nole was playing with his food. I was like, is this Bella Trick? I'm just like, Nole, can we have a swift kill, please? I gotta go home and cook. I really need to do something this afternoon. Like,
It was a bit like Novak eating with chopsticks for the first time.
Right.
Didn't get the rice. Try again.
Try again. Watching Murray on, so I've been trying to figure out, like, why is it that I do not believe there is a big four? Why is it that in my head there's only a big three? And I think the difference is that Murray does.
Three. Okay.
Well, theoretically. There's really a big one. There's really only a big one.
There's only one. There's only one singular sensation at this point. But
Except we have to pretend there's a big three, Renee, because no one's paying for the big one only.
Exactly.
We gotta pretend. Like, let's be honest. We gotta pretend, right? We gotta pretend that there's a real competition happening because otherwise.
Naturally. Always.
Well, the odd thing is that the statistics were out there today that the last time Novak lost a set in a finals was 2015 U.S. Open. Okay.
Oh my God.
Last time he lost in a final. The last time he lost a set to the top 10, other than today, was in Australian Open. So these top 10, other than Federer, is the only one who seems to be consistently doing anything out there that could perhaps just ruffle where we can expect that Novak Federer will be ruffled to a certain extent. Not that he would lose, but his Federer would be ruffled, and maybe, just maybe, if Federer getting quick like in Dubai, he can run in and run out, be like, yeah, I won,
It's not
like
just quickly before he
not
opens his
that way
eyes.
quickly, you know what I
At the
mean?
wrong bench or something.
Right, you know what I mean?
That was just a coincidence.
But to me,
Although seriously, I feel like that was enough to get Nole off his game for like maybe an hour. That was just enough.
I
So do you get the
100%
sense-
unironically agree. Yeah.
I know, right? I mean, I'll be serious. I'm like, you've just got to get him off his game for like a second. I think on some weird level, he was slightly unsettled by the Madrid crowd for a bit in the third set. It got a
Because
little bit
when he finally broke back, oh my! I'm just like, even the
Yeah,
commentator was just like, that's a little bit too much. Like really, like you didn't have to like.
I mean, did you see him during his semifinals against Kay at certain points? Where I was like,
Yeah.
dude, you're up 6-3, 5-3.
I know!
What's
It was
going on?
weird. But you got to count on those moments because that's your moment when you can maybe slip in a little bit and do something. But if but you can't. Some players don't recognize that Nole is a little bit sensitive in that moment.
For me, all the while when Nadal was dominating, particularly in clay, I kept waiting for a man to be like, I'm gonna go across the bench and just knock his fucking water down, just knock it down. But like, oops, and that might, because to me, it's just like that's okay. They can't give you a code violation for knocking down his water.
So
But
basically, Lucas Russell and Robin Söderling.
They have some big wins. They have some big wins. Trust me.
No, but you know what? I mean, like this is so funny. Psychologically, there are things that happens between the men on the court, right? And so you've got to try to take your advantage however you can. And even just feeling like you can sort of push Rafa around with his bottles was probably very helpful for those two. I mean,
Have you ever watched Fonini when he's beating Nadal? Fonini's just like, I don't care about you. I don't care. You're the one fucking up over there. It's just
Panini just walks around the court hip first, like
exactly.
Look at me, I'm the dude.
Exactly.
I don't
He's
care.
like, that ball was in. I don't know. Don't care. Moving on.
Panini
Winner.
swag is one of the funniest things on tour for me. It's
What's that?
incredible. Panini swag is one of the funniest things on tour. For me.
because
It's fun to watch, isn't it?
It's horrible. It's so nonchalant. Like you're working so hard, and then he stands there and hits a ball without barely moving his shoulders. I'm like, this is
It's hilarious. I fucking love it.
And that's just what you have to do. Like sometimes, just like you mightn't win the war, but you know what? This battle, I'm gonna take it. And I just feel that it doesn't happen. But for me, Murray, what I've noticed in Murray over this past, really, I've come to the conclusion: this boy is no tactician.
Oh my God! Don't you say that? And I told him you can't say that because Murray loves being the smartest guy on court.
I'm sorry, Bamboo. Sorry. He is. I mean, when Nadal was in his heyday and Federer's in his heyday, they're constructing points. They're not just dictating the shots per se, like I'm gonna hit a winner here, winner there, but they know exactly what they're trying to do. They're making you make the error. So it's not like you're making unforced errors. They're forcing you into in this other position. But Murray just doesn't. He considers himself he's fit. I get it, boo. We're all fit. We're all professional players. So your fitness isn't really going to do, particularly when you're in the top 5. Like you're all in shape. Okay, you don't see Federer out there panting for bread. No, and you're certainly not gonna outlast Nole, right? So how can you get to the Australian Open final?
Why does no one outlast Nole? What's really going on there?
Because
I'm
Murray
curious.
is the fittest.
I'm just over here eating my eggs.
Eat your eggs, Renee.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
But seriously, the one thing,
wait.
Ray Murray, where you say he's not a great tactician, I actually think he's a pretty good tactician, but he gets rattled so easily and just starts barking away at himself that he just forgets about any sort of tactics and game plan that he's laid out for himself and just goes full on.
He needs a notebook. Serena has a notebook, boo. Get yourself a notebook. These are the things you need to remember, okay? Don't hit the fucking ball to the man and he's standing over there. Go to the open court. You know what I mean? You hit drop shot, try something different, Remember, you're not on the WTA. Your second serve should be over 90 miles an hour.
Oh my God!
So
Why are you trying to say?
He's got a point.
And secondly, and most importantly, so the umpire tells the man across there, like, it's your opponent. He gets the code warning violation for wasting time. Why the fuck are you in his business being like, it was my fault, I was holding him up? That ain't your business. Keep it pumping.
You know what? Can I tell you, That was the perfect moment. To me, listen, I'm so bad about these things because I totally focus on like
Oh my Jesus
weird male energy.
Christ.
And in that moment when Murray did that, I was like, "You lost, boo." Do you know why you
You know
lost?
what I mean?
Because you are still playing nice guy. No, they don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Yes, he came on Twitter.
This
and he
happened
thanked you.
today?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, honey, psychologically, you've just lost that moment because you're sitting there still trying to play fair. I'm not saying that you shouldn't play fair. But part of this game is that you got to put your game face on. And if you're sitting out there going, oh, no, teacher, no.
No. It was me. I was opening up Leone. It was me. Bitch, as Leone pointed out, he was bouncing the ball. He didn't stop. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do over the other side. But he is preparing himself. He's wasting time. And meanwhile, it's Nole we're talking about. You think Leone just said, time code violation because it's the first time he went over 25 seconds? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's a psychological tug of war, and Murray lost that one. Like, I just thought it was like he was just there for the taking in that moment. And it's just like, no, you got to sort of stay. I don't know. You've got to come at Nole with a little bit more, in my mind. There's just got to be a little bit of a posturing and a little bit of just kind of holding it together in order to go up against Novak. Because he just feels so comfortable on court. He really does now. Back in the day, you can always count on Novak feeling a little bit uncomfortable in moments, but now there's just none of those dips. So anytime you can take a psychological advantage, hey, let it be the fact that he has a time violation warning. I don't know.
I was just like, that was such a pussy move, Mari. Such a pussy move.
Listen, in our world, we call that sportsmanship. Stop it.
No, that's bullshit.
I
mean, look, I know the Nole fam. Like, she's gonna come after me with her all-access pass. She's gonna try to come for my ass. Which she printed up on her, which I'm sure might be her Canon printer. But like, seriously, Murray.
I don't even. What is going on?
Don't you know Nole fam has an all-access pass? She can go anywhere as the president of the Nole fam. She has that official thing she printed up and laminated and it all has like a nice.
You'll be happy to hear this did not happen this week.
Oh, thank God.
No one
Not
coming
this week.
into the Nope.
Yeah, they showed up.
Nope. I'd have taken them by their hood or by whatever they were wearing and dragged them back out of the press room because
That's crazy.
that's not.
So, do you have any good presser stories for us?
Presser stories. Simona Halep throwing everyone around of beer. That was fun.
Yeah, is that okay?
That was fun because
Actually,
there was
no, that is very okay. Because I know at the U.S. Open they give you liquor all the time.
No, not the tournament gives you liquor, not the player.
Not the players.
Oh,
so that was pretty nice because
we don't get
there was
where it
some
came
sort
from.
of bit of a because there was a bit of a competition basically going on in the room where we said, oh, the one who's got the last or the most people standing on the weekend wins. Me being German, not a great week. No one. Everyone was like, I'm going to pull a half week and I'm going to be out of Madrid by Wednesday. Okay, you be you. And so that's the way it rolled. And Simona was happy to cover that. It was good beer. It was ice cold Estrella Damm. Very nice. And then got back to the press room, just like marveled at my beer, and then I remembered Sam Stosur's should be in a mix zone right now. I'm running down. But yeah, no. Other than that, just a good fun week basically in that room. That was fun. It was entertaining. It was productive. So the way it should be. And one thing that I've got to say that I feel like that I should make when it comes to this tournament is there's a reason why the VIP boxes are always empty.
Why?
Because the VIP area is so much better than tennis.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's true.
What makes it better? Tell us all. What is it?
They've got about 10. So first of all, they've got a food map. So you're basically being given a map with about 10 different restaurants, essentially, in that area where you can just go and get everything mise en place immediately, whatever you want. Pretty much whatever you want.
Without paying? That's key.
Well, that's for the VIP people without
Okay.
paying. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So
Because
that is.
I was watching some of these matches and I was like, oh Jesus Christ, is anybody there? Like, it's
Okay, so
completely
now
empty.
we know. Now we know. You guys need to start showing
I
bagels.
can't blame them. Really, I kind of can't blame them. I'm like, see, if I had to choose between who knows who's getting bageled on Manalo Santana and eating some sashimi and picking up some jamon iberico, yeah, I know what I'd be getting. So
They're your
it's not the
choices.
bagel. Yeah, no, it's fair choice. It's fair choices, and
It's fresh
but
bagels
it's
on the other side. Anyway.
but it is a bit unfortunate that you see the VIP boxes so prominently, particularly on camera, and that you see them very empty very often. That is just
They need to be
it's
locked
unfortunate.
down during play. They need to be locked down. You need to lock
At
off
least
the
for
food.
like a set or something.
Like,
Right.
then they can all flee in the second set. But the first set, you gotta like crowd the camera.
Like
Keep
you
the
stay here
camera.
for pictures. Stay here.
Yeah,
You can reproduce these
Exactly.
pictures, guys.
And then
But,
open up
yeah.
the bars. So do they have games as well? Entertaining things happening there? Is that all just the food?
So for the VIP section, they've got a lot of pretty. To be honest, I could entertain myself with food for about 4 hours each night.
Very true.
And I bet you any money you're a skinny bitch. I bet you any
I
money.
am. I'm a skinny bitch. He can eat as much as he wants to, and he never gains anything. But no, I mean, it's just they've done a very nice job with that. But that's the reason. Once you saw that, you understood why the VIP boxes are.
They're not
quite
rushing for those matches, right?
No, they're rushing to the food, which I get. But
And then
the
you
one
might
thing that
even. Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I do have to say that's been really, really beautifully realized, and the one reason why I'd recommend Madrid to people, particularly during the first weekend and the first 3 or 4 days, that is the outer courts, because they are absolutely fantastic. You're sitting really up close, and you still have the view from up above on the court. It's basically like a little street, and to the left and to the right, you've got about 6 and 7 courts, and those or 8 courts, and those are the outer courts, where you can watch pretty much, the players practicing really up close. You can watch first-round matches between really, really good people. Like, I don't know what was scheduled for but like the top 12 seeds, like number 12 seed against someone on WTA could basically be a really good match these days.
Sure.
And you've got those as a first-round match or a second-round match out in the outer courts, and I think that has been realized really nicely. And if I didn't have to jump back and forth between that and going to presses and going to talk to players after matches and all of that, I'd be happy to camp out there all day.
Now, is it one of those
Really well.
situations? Is it one of those situations where you sort of pay for the main courts and then you can go on all the other courts? You can also get on the second one.
I think it might just be that might just be the case. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you can obviously when you pay for the main court, you can go to all the other ones. And then you've got the grounds passes. But I do think that there are people who pay for the Manolo Santana and they end up going to
They walk
Estadio,
off all that food, don't they?
and they go for El Jamón Ibérico. And they end up going to an outside court, to court 6 or court 7, because they're just super up close. I think my funnest match of the week was Del Potro Soc at midnight on an outside court because of the exploding lights on the Arantxa Sanchez Vicario court. So that is just, I think if they've done a fantastic job with that, with the main courts, that it's just debatable whether the optics are always that fantastic to me.
Yeah.
But as an event that is catering to fans and catering up close, I think they're trying their best, and they try to improve year by year, and I think that's good to see. That even if it's not all perfect yet here and there, I think they're trying really hard. And I do think, and one thing that I've got to say, I think the Twitter account of the Madrid Open this week
Fabulous.
has been fantastic. Like they get it, they really get it, and I think they're doing a lot of things that are pushing into the right direction, and yeah, hopefully it'll remain that way and it'll pay off long term.
So WTA, you have about 4 more years. In 4 more years, if by 2020 shit don't change, get the fuck out of Madrid, okay?
Oh my God! I love that. I love
Take
that.
over Barcelona, okay?
I love that after all that, that's what you get.
Oh my God.
But that's totally okay. I think actually that like for me.
Take over Madrid. Take over Barcelona because we ain't got time. Because K won't be around in 2020. I'm sure of that. He's about to break down. And Nadal ain't be winning anything. So Barcelona is where the shit will be, ladies. Get it there.
But to be honest, I think I've got to say for me, there's a time and place for combined events.
Yeah.
And there's also a time and place for events to be separate events.
And Madrid ain't that place.
See, there are places that really, for me, that really cherish the ATP. There are places that really cherish the WTA. For example, Charleston or Stuttgart, where you've got
And Roma.
And Roma. Oh, I'm
They
so
love the
excited for
ladies.
Rome.
Yeah, they love the ladies in Rome. They
love
love
the ladies.
everybody. They love
They love
tennis in
everyone.
Rome. Period. That's what I. That
Oh my
seems to
God.
be the thing.
Have you seen those crowds? There were more crowds watching Federer practice today than watching that men's finals today. I'm
Oh,
just saying.
Jesus.
I'm even trying to be shady. At least there was more enthusiasm coming from the crowd. There was more energy.
That's
That's
because
what I
people
should
are
say.
sick of watching Novak win everything.
Okay, can I ask your opinion on this, Renee?
Sure.
What-
Ask me everything.
What? Let me just say this. Let me ask you this. Seriously, do you think the ATP needs somebody who is going for a career slam this year?
No.
Honestly. No, right? Why?
No, I don't think
why
because
no?
because I don't think Djokovic needs a career slam to prove how dominant he has been over the
Thank
past
you.
4 years.
No.
If he
Serena
gets it,
stands, you should hear this too, okay? You should hear this.
if he gets it, if he ends up getting the career slam, the Golden Slam or the 2016 slam and wins all 4 of them, more power to him and well done. Then we can all throw about theories about weak era, strong era, bullshit.
Yeah.
Just- if he ends up winning it, fair dues to him. Then he's done. Yeah, what more can you ask of someone? Even if people are going to end up saying, "Oh, but he doesn't have any proper competition," or he has proper competition, I think we're never going to be on the same page with that, like everyone. But if he wins all 4, that's a statement that is kind of.
I given, right? Like, but what I'm talking about it is in terms of media, because people say that we need career slams for coverage. I just don't feel like that is. I mean, see, I think it's the opposite on the WTA side. Now, I didn't care because I thought that Serena's dominance was clearly a given. However, I do think that with women's sports, you need something. Sometimes you need something extra to drive the narrative. Right?
Yeah, exactly, because you've generally got media preferring to tell stories about men's sports because that's how society rolls.
Exactly. So to suggest that the ATP needs that for its own tail, to me it doesn't seem it's not the
hell
case.
nah. The ATP needs someone like, I don't know, someone under 28 winning a fucking Masters. That's what the ATP needs. The ATP needs someone like Thiem, maybe not wasting 39 break points in his last few matches against top 5 players. Like,
Renee, don't stop me, please.
But honestly, Thiem is about to do it this week because he's about to go. I'm just going to take Roger's scalp, and that's going to be helpful to me. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't do it against Rafa, couldn't do it against somebody else, but here comes Roger, third round.
But didn't Roger play recently?
No, but I'm just saying, here comes, he needs a scalp because we need to be reminded that he's a real talent. And the way you remind people that you're a talent is by taking a scalp. A vulnerable scalp, but still a scalp.
You can take a scalp all you want, but you can't be pounding your chest beating the 35-year-old man. You just can't be.
Well, you're going to try.
They do.
No. I mean, that's for your grandkids. But on the toe, boo. That ain't
no, but
I
think Renee is right though. Renee, these are keep going. What are the things the ATP need to actually breathe some life into the tour?
the thing is that I think the ATP is very happy where they're at the moment.
I think so too. They don't see this as a problem at all.
I'm not sure they should. To be honest, based on the way that they're gathering revenue and they're gathering money bucks dough. I don't think they should. They are worried at the moment. But I do think they've got an idea that they might need a genuine next generation, because like the actual next generation, that would be Raonic, Dimitrov, Grigor. Grigor.
We can talk about Grigor too.
Like,
Tell us about Grigor later.
Since you're going to be unseated if you lose to Zverev tomorrow evening at the French. Jesus. But yeah, that was interesting. He also he actually came into press, which I thought was okay, cool, interesting. Because he basically said, yeah, I felt like a kite in a perfect storm or something like that, were his words for his Istanbul disaster.
Well, you know what? It's very arty. That's a very arty saying.
It's a very arty. Hey, that's the guy who's...
Oh my God, I can't even Grigor anymore. Grigor is content in being a accessory to powerful women. Well, kind of powerful women, because I don't know if Nico Scherzinger is anything really.
Side note,
powerful.
I heard the Pussycat Dolls buttons today at the Madrid airport. But never mind.
Did you immediately think of Grigor upon hearing the song?
I thought about Grigor posing in front of the fireplace.
I know.
I love it. He's great. You know what, though? I will say that
those pictures make me believe, that, like I said.
No, Grigor is winning. Grigor wins everywhere else except on court. I love it.
Hey, I mean, maybe he's going to turn it around at some point, but I don't see it happening like in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Not on clay, anyways. But yeah, going back to the question whether the ATP needs to do something drastically different or needs to change anything, I don't think they need to do something drastically different. I just think they need to prepare for post 2018. I think that's what they've got to do, and they've got an entertaining and colorful and character-driven bunch of young people coming up.
Yes,
the ranks, true. Looking at
Can someone give Zverev his medication, please? Because I think
what? Looking at which ones were you talking, Renee?
Yeah, pretty much Zverev, Kyrgios, and so on and so forth. That is just a very emotional bunch at times.
Yes, I mean it's great, which is great, which is going to be good. It's going to be good for the tour.
I agree, and I think that's going to be interesting to see how they sell that, because like the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, it's been very much this chivalrous and statesmanish portrayal of the tour that we've received, and I don't think you can mold some of the current ATP hashtag next gen.
Kyrgios will not be wearing a tuxedo when he qualifies for the year-end championships. If we won't get that man in a monkey suit, nope.
And he's only gonna wear a tuxedo if it's purple. So
exactly. He's gonna shop in pajamas and be like, "Why? It's nighttime. We're taking this picture. What's the problem?" Night.
But I mean, I think
dressed like a rapper.
You got to go with what was needed. I think that was called for during the time. I think you built the sport in one way, and it doesn't have to continue along those lines. You can shift it up, shake it up a little bit.
I agree. But a question to you guys: did you, after the past week, or after what I've just told you, is Madrid a tournament that you would consider attending and that you would consider keeping on the calendar?
No. I still,
I would go to Madrid, but not for the tennis, though.
I still don't believe it. I really believe that Madrid should be scrapped as a tournament, and I wish that Tyrrell had thought to create a grass Masters. To me, the idea that we don't have a grass Masters is just ridiculous. It's just dumb. It makes no sense to me to have 3 clay court Masters and actually 4 if you think about the fact that you have Monte Carlo, which is just like an extra, right? So you've got Rome.
No, you only have 3.
No, it's 3. Yeah, 3. I mean, how do you have 3 clay court Masters and no legitimate grass one?
I agree with that.
There's just no balance. It's just weird to me.
I don't know how to fit it in. I wouldn't know how to fit a grass Masters into a schedule at the moment. That is the one thing where I'm like, within 3 weeks.
You get rid of Madrid. No, what you do is you get rid of. You know what you do? You get rid of Madrid.
And
bump up Rome.
Bump up Rome.
And
bump up the French. And I mean that's probably 2 or 3 years out, but that's what you do. You eliminate Madrid's time slot move Rome up into that time slot, then move everything else up a week, and then you give a grass masters to lead into Wimbledon. You cannot have that as a wonderful surface that plays for a different kind of player, and you don't
And there's
celebrate that
nothing,
anywhere.
none of the
It's
tournaments.
crazy.
And the crazy thing is that none of the tournaments is illustrious. When you have the top players can miss the whole grass season and then show up at Wimbledon and still do well. It's like,
But
yeah.
it has nothing to do with the illustriousness of it. It's just like you should give them seasons. Like you should have
A real
masters for
season, not
yeah,
grass
for a
weeks.
season. Yeah, like it's like I mean, they're lucky that they have Wimbledon, which is so clearly the creme de la creme that it
And and that's the crazy thing is that they all love playing on grass.
well, not all love it, but they like Wimbledon.
Benoit Paire.
I know. He doesn't like it. But so I feel like Madrid is an outlier because mentally you think about the results as an outlier anyway.
Mhm.
So why not just fully embrace
hold
that?
up. Federer done told you in 2009, don't nobody be trying to come put any asterisk next to his French Open because he beat Rafa in the Madrid finals. Just letting you know.
No, I mean, I don't care about that. I'm just saying that, like, it's an outlier mentally for people.
Right,
Nobody
it's
takes
not,
that
because-
result. Everybody's go, oh, well, that tournament does different things,
No-
which I love.
No one was checking for Petra in Paris last day after she won Madrid. No one. No.
Petra wins Madrid twice. How many times did Petra win Wimbledon?
Twice.
Well,
It's
but
interesting
you know
how.
what? It
Yeah, it's
does
interesting.
relate. It does relate, right? Madrid, maybe that faster clay surface is not really about. It's not really about Roland Garros. It's about. So we should be watching for Simona in Wimbledon this year. What?
He has made the semis, if I'm not
I can't
mistaken,
even
right?
deal with you people today.
Listen, that's what we're saying. No, but you know what? You did make a case for us attending Madrid, but only as a VIP. Sorry,
Mhm.
Renee.
Yeah, how do we
okay.
score that?
Okay, no, they've done. As I say, they've done a really nice job with that. But I do think, like,
Yeah.
before I'd go for the VIP stuff, I'd go for the outer courts because
Well,
they are
sure,
fantastic.
yeah.
They're really good. They're really, really good. But yeah, it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to losing my Pietrangeli virginity next week.
Ooh.
Ooh.
We always look forward to people popping cherries. So what? This is the first time. This is. I mean, listen. This is how this works. So this is your first time in Rome.
It is. It is
Ever?
my first time.
Ever?
No. I've been here a couple of years ago once, but that was not during the Italian Open. That was otherwise. And
Mind telling us what reason, what time was that?
Oh my lord! You can't be checking the
thing-
dates on the podcast.
What are you
real.
talking about?
There's a lot of historical sites in Rome, and that's why I was in Rome because it's a very interesting place to visit.
Mm.
I know you
I
can
can hear.
take your
I can hear.
and you
I
can
can
take your and whatever and take it to the left.
Oh my lord! You try to check for people's information.
I'm just saying.
during
I'm
the
just saying.
podcast.
No, I'm just letting you know that the highest crime rate per capita happens in the Vatican City. So just letting you know that in the Vatican Roman City. So
What do you think I was
just know you-
smuggling in here, Meltonian? Or what's going
you know these podcasts are definitely sponsored by Meldonium. Just letting you know that they're always sponsored by Meldonium.
Too bad.
So what are you looking forward to in Rome?
Yeah.
This
A
this
lot.
event.
A lot, I think. You've got Serena and Venus playing doubles tomorrow on court
That'll be
one.
fun.
Ooh,
They
I gotta
are?
make sure.
Honey, that's gonna be a train wreck. I mean, I hate to say it though. I saw them lose in front of me the last time they played. I think it was at
US Open.
at
Yes.
the U.S. Open at the Arthur
No.
Armstrong.
Arthur Armstrong.
Arms-
That doesn't explain.
No,
It
no,
was
no,
the Giants
Armstrong.
fan. Armstrong. Yes.
It was Armstrong, honey. I
Destiny
know where I
and
was
Makarova,
sitting.
right?
Yes.
Yes. I did watch that, man.
It was brutal. It was brutal, and I kept telling my friend, "I'm so sorry. You keep seeing Serena lose with me." But no. So that'll be fun though. It'll be good. I'm glad that they're starting to
that
practice.
itself. Also,
But can I ask
like,
a real question regarding that, please? Just, and I have my good, just us girls here. Do you really think that Venus and Serena deserve a spot on the U.S. Olympic team doubles?
Oh yeah, they won last year. They won the last Olympics.
Yeah, they
Of
gotta
course
get
they
it. Of
Okay.
course. Of course.
Why
Wait.
wouldn't they?
Is that up for question? Is that up for question?
Because the doubles ranking is 0?
So
no,
what?
but I mean,
It's because they don't play.
Well, that's the
well,
point.
well,
They'll
actually,
be
the
fine.
Well, the question though is who has a better ranking? I mean, other
Exactly.
Americans haven't been playing together, so it's not like they have joint.
Oh, that is
although-
true. Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, there are no.
Because Matic Sands plays with Safasheva. So.
Yeah, so
I
yeah.
mean, just because Dinara Safina didn't play this year doesn't mean she couldn't have won Rome and Madrid. So
Oh my god.
I gotta give you a gun. That ain't right, okay? This time of year is a very, very sensitive moment for Dinar, okay? Very
poor
sensitive
Dinara.
time.
Poor
I
Dinara.
PS Dinara looks in a pretty great place at the moment. She looks pretty. She seems very happy with her work doing at the Madrid Open, and
Yeah, she works
Yeah.
there, right?
and
What
also
does she do?
yeah, she works there. Yeah, she does. I think she does a lot of like player not management, but
Or relations.
works around that relations and that. But
No
yeah,
wonder
she
things are
looks-
shitty for the women. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Then tell Dinara.
I say I mean I'm doing the Dinara Safina Slam season this year here in doing
Oh!
Rome Madrid back to back.
Wait
my
a
God.
minute. Renee, no.
Oh, Renee.
Shade.
I know.
And I mean that in the best.
Shade.
You're
I
a
don't mean it in
Serena
a shade.
Stan. You are a Serena Stan
It's
on
not.
all that blonde hair. I can tell.
It's
No.
not, and it's not
Renee-
actually shading because I've got. Yeah, it's not shading. I
You
think
got your receipts for that, right? You got your
do.
receipts.
Yeah.
So Renee, are you gonna actually we can go back to Rome, but are you gonna do any tournaments on grass? Are you gonna do any of the German tournaments?
I'm thinking about last year. I did Halle,
Mm-hmm.
which was fun.
You should.
This year I'm thinking. I'm going back and forth between doing Stuttgart and then maybe Mallorca.
Oh, Mallorca. Yes, they have a grass.
Mallorca.
What do they have? A grass tournament,
We
right?
have a grass court tournament with
See, this is
late-night
life.
grass court matches.
Oh, that's fun. You should
Oh,
try
really?
it.
Yeah,
I mean, the
It's
scenery,
qualities.
on the
the,
short
scenery,
list.
the scenery down there's got to be pretty.
Good Rafa
Smells
be
pretty
playing
great.
now. He's going to defend his Stuttgart
It's a
crown.
WTA. It's a WTA tournament, right? The Mallorca tournament is
It is.
WTA.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just WTA. Yeah.
Oh, and isn't there a new tournament this year for Federer? Isn't that the one he's going to? A grass
I think,
tournament?
No, the Stuttgart one, that was last year. That was the one that Rafa won last year, and this year they got Federer. And
Okay.
unsurprisingly, in Germany, ticket sales exploded.
Well, of
the minute
course.
that he was announced.
So he's playing Stuttgart and Halle?
He's playing Stuttgart and
Yep.
Halle.
So
Oh, nice.
let's put a bubble
That's
wrap on
right,
that.
bro.
Because
You're trying to get some crowns because you know Wimbledon ain't gonna be coming easy to you. This right.
you never know. You never know.
Okay. You never
Yeah,
know.
But it's going to be
Well, it's
interesting. It's going to be fun to see.
Yes, it's definitely gonna be fun tennis there anyway.
Yeah, always. Grass is always fun. Clay is also fun. Just
Yeah.
So Renee,
not
before
for
we
all
get
of us, but I know for Janina it isn't. But
We
Oh,
we don't
she
even
hates
have
the
to talk
clay.
about it. I fucking hate it.
she hit the clay.
incredible.
I mean,
But now
I
what?
seriously, I didn't watch that final today. I saw the first set and I was like, seriously, and I turned off the TV and I took a nap. I'm
So
so
what-
over the clay.
What are
Amazing.
your open stories that what are the things you're looking to kind of get nailed up in Rome for you, Renee? What questions do you want answered for yourself in Rome?
For example, the one thing that I want to sort of figure out is the rather weird situation with regards to the streaming of women's doubles.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what's going on there? You didn't have anything from Madrid. You didn't have anything from Miami. Just trying to dig into that sort of contractual setup.
Yeah, I'd
And
love
just-
to
I
find
think-
that out.
And I
It's true
think-
because I've been watching lots of doubles. My man Pierre Ooze be playing, so I'm all on the doubles track. But
Yeah,
there
but
were
the
no
men's
women's at all on tennis TV for sure.
Exactly, and that's the one thing that I found a bit weird and a bit question.
And it was a
Yeah,
good
but-
match because Mirza and Hingis lost in the
Yeah,
final.
they lost
Well-
once again. Yeah, they lost. They also lost to them in Stuttgart, and yeah, I think
Well, yeah.
Mladenovic and Garcia are on a pretty good streak at the moment.
Well, that is interesting. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they're going to show us some doubles because Venus and Serena.
And
So
Serena, yeah.
there might not be streaming in the traditional sense, but they might actually choose to show it. like on our coverage here in the U.S. I'm not certain, but yeah, I'd love to find out that. What else?
So look. I've just tuned up. I've just decided to open up Tennis TV in order to see how things are going. And women's matches tomorrow on court are Fritzam Schmidlova, Kasatkina Pliskova, and then not broadcast on Tennis TV, Serena Williams, Venus Williams against Andrea Klepac and Katarina Srebotnik. So that is not going to be on Tennis TV.
Now, curiously, we have to ask Tennis Channel. I'm going to have to tweet them. Are you going to show the Venus and Serena doubles?
That's a pretty good question, actually, because I've shot Tennis TV an email, and they were like, yeah, due to contractual reasons.
So maybe, yeah.
So it's interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see where this all sort of ends up, because I've got questions. I'm like, how is the WTA supposed to promote women's doubles when barely any women's doubles are being broadcast anywhere? That's just a bit of a problem.
That is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Well, considering they have like a dominant team that is like, I mean, they would say that we don't have stars, but they actually have a pretty good star, Mirza and Martina.
And like I mean, fans.
Yeah, she has a lot of fans, so I would be surprised. I'm surprised by that. Any other questions for you that you think Rome might be able to answer?
I think Rome is always, for me, the biggest benchmark for the French out of the current tournaments that we've got leading up. I actually think Monte Carlo is also fairly similar to the French due to being at sea level, having very similar conditions in terms of the clay, and just I mean, look, hopefully you've got Azarenka getting rid of her back issue, whatever she got in Madrid, because it was bloody freezing in Madrid during the first 2 or 3 days, so she probably did her back in a little bit there. You've got Serena playing. I mean, that is pretty much the one storyline where you're like, so you're going to play again after, I don't know, it's been a bit over a month. After Miami, a bit over a month since you've played your last match, and you look pretty out of sorts in Miami. That's just the way it was. And I think that's going to be, I think I've got more question marks on the women's side than on the men's side at the moment, and I think there's quite a number of things worth following up upon. And question's also going to be, is Azarenka going to be able, I'm not even sure if she's going to be able to get back a top 4 seeding for the French Open. So that is just one of the things. And as always for me, like the first round matches on the WTA side are far more firecrackers than on the ATP side. And but I'm just looking forward to just jumping into Rome head first tomorrow morning and walk back up towards the Foro Italico next to the Vatican and the neighborhoods around here, and have a proper good look at things.
Oh, you're just showing off right now.
I
just
know.
making us all
But you know what?
right
I'm gonna throw you off your game for a little bit. We got 2 major questions to ask you before we
Yes, you do.
podcast. One, Maria Sharapova and Meldonia. Let us hear what you have to say about that whole little situation.
Where do I begin? It's an interest. It's a.
Did you get the email? First of all, did you get the email? That's why you should begin there.
I didn't open it. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's a very. I think it's a pretty complex situation, a complex issue, and it very much depends on what, like, different people perceive different things as wrong. If you go just by the law and just by what is allowed and what is not allowed on paper, then yes, she did. Yeah, she made a huge mistake, according in her own words, and she took something that she was not supposed to take in 2016. No question marks about no questions about that or not. Now the other thing is, I think where people are getting far more emotionally invested with regards to this whole issue is how morally wrong all of it is, with her taking something that some people say is a PED, other people say, well, you don't even have enough proof to say it's a PED, and I think that is for me, that is something that I quite like to just stay away from. I just try and go by the book about in terms of what's allowed and what's not allowed, because how are you going to make that call? I can't really, because I've tried to read up as much as I can on mildronate, meldonium, and so on and so forth. And I'm struggling to really make the call with regards to how much she actually took and whether it is, whether it could have significantly improved her performance between 2006 and 2015.
16.
And 16, obviously. And then you've got the other side of the flip side of the coin, where you've got WADA just, to me, not doing a great job at representing themselves.
Yeah.
And that is just something that really muddies the waters. It's just as if you were in court. If you've got a prosecution that is just looking insecure and looking like they're moving one step ahead and two steps back and two steps ahead and one step back all the time, you're starting to just struggle with the body that is supposed to lay out the rules. And I feel like that is a fair point that a lot of people are making. In general, I'm not one of the people who think that tennis is the cleanest sport in the world. I think you should treat results and things with caution to a certain degree. Just like, okay, get excited about someone playing fantastic tennis. Get excited about someone having great runs, playing incredibly physical tennis, and so on and so forth. I totally understand that, but also don't be blindsided, or don't just walk around
blindly
with,
jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah,
I mean,
just don't walk around
I think,
with the shutters on.
don't believe. I think when I was thinking about it today, I was in my mind. I was just like, I'm happy that get excited for your players, your fans, get excited. But however, sports athletes doping and failing to follow the rules, it's not a representation of who you are as a person, as a fan.
No.
It's just you like what they were doing, and yes, they failed, they make mistakes. You do the same thing too. But you don't get out when someone commits when someone do something wrong in your regular life. You don't jump on a bandwagon and be all about them anyway when they did something wrong, and they're humans too. So I agree. In particular, I think tennis is one of those sports where I'm like, even today I was watching the match, Andy and Novak, and I was just like, how can people not think that this sport is prime for doping? These players have to do this every single week. And it's every single week for from January to basically November.
And it's not completely how to put this? It's not a completely foreign thought to think that maybe tennis players do things that are very, very close to the borderline of what's allowed, or sometimes they overstep that border. And I'm honest, I think there might be players who aren't in general. I don't think you should be just completely blindsided to the idea that there might be doping in tennis.
Sorry.
That's right. Yeah, I just don't think you should be naive enough to think that it's the completely white sport that some people wish it was and that some people claim it is. And that, to me, is just naive.
So you're of the school of thought of not because there are no positive tests, it means that there are no doping.
Yeah, no, it's just something you shouldn't be just because there are no you can't see into everyone's financial details doesn't mean there's corruption going on.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is just, don't be that naive. Cheer your players on, cheer for your players, write about the players, do whatever you want, but don't be, in my opinion, so naive as to think that that tennis is the completely clean white sport that you think it is. That many people try to sell it that way, I guess.
Okay, thank you very much, Renee. And before you leave us, don't go away quite just yet when we get off the air, but we want to know who are your top 6 men?
Men.
Yes, men. With a
On
Z
tour.
on
On
tour.
tour.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't pick any
Mm.
retirees.
We weren't asking about who is in your phone, Renee. We weren't asking about that. Because we won't know those people.
I don't have people in my phone. I
Mm,
just don't.
mm,
Huh.
mm.
My
I've
God.
never cricketed one guest so much, Renee. I don't know.
And it's all in your mind. It is all in
All
your
in
mind.
my mind.
She's talking to me, Renee.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, so number
Let's just go with the
6.
following. Let's just go with the following. Can I go with the top 6 tennis players that I'd like to go and have a drink with?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. We need a little bit more
stop
spice.
it.
A little
Stop
bit
it.
more spice.
No.
A little bit more spice.
No, that's good.
Let's
You
just
never
go-
know you never know where a drink well leads. So let's start with the drinks.
Mm.
There
Very
you
good.
go.
Very
There
good.
you
See?
go. See?
So
Who's the bartender? Is this Bill Cosby? Is Bill Cosby the bartender?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Jesus
It's fine.
Christ.
You might run
You're
into
the
some
man.
legality. You're a man that's by the
Shut
book.
it. No, they're having drinks
Uh-oh.
they're having
Okay,
drinks
let's
at
go.
Kaha
Green just
Magic.
pulled out the shut it.
Number 6,
So
Renee.
I definitely go and have a beer with Ernest Skulvis and talk about life.
Oh,
would
look,
be
he's on my
very-
list.
That's
Uh-huh.
very entertaining.
And plus, he get money. He could pay for the drinks.
Really? He should. He should pay for everything.
Afterwards, I'd go with. This is
Are you
actually
doing
not
this in one
chronological.
night?
I'm just going with whoever comes to my head.
Mm.
I'd invite Benoit out for beers and burgers.
Yes.
Because I'd be drinking the beers, he could have the burgers for all I care. Because that's just the way he rolls. I'd have a couple of beers or whatever with Petco. That would be amusing.
Petco.
Yeah.
He's integrating the list, honey.
It's fine.
He says he integrates lists, so we're going to integrate the
I
list.
said tennis players, dude.
There you go.
See,
Integrates the
you're
list.
lucky because it's Mother's Day and we're a feminist podcast. Here because, I don't like how you're changing things up here, mate. No, you're being a weatherman. Okay, we can't trust you. Okay. Okay. All right.
I'm
So it's
making it
Petco.
rain. I'm making it rain.
Okay. So Petco, Andrea, you have to. Sorry. You have to share that one.
Oh.
Apparently, I have to share everyone so far. You're not coming back.
Bye, girl.
Single-handedly stealing from your list.
Right?
He's trying to come for you. And it's your
No.
day, so your special day. So that's
know.
number 4, number 3.
Great.
No, number 2.
Number
Oh,
3,
yeah,
he don't
number
need
three.
3.
Number 3.
Sorry, yeah.
Oof. Oof. Jesus Christ. Let me fire up a quick ranking list because
Do you know what's sad? You've just been at a tennis tournament.
I know.
I'm telling
It's
you.
super sad.
See? And y'all get mad at me when I'm checking out the scrubs and the toe. I'm telling you. If
Listen,
you want
you
it,
can't- You're not going to the Challenger circuit. No.
Challenger circuit is so much fun though.
see?
Probably.
Jesus Christ. This is
This is very hard. This is the hardest thing.
And this is
to
not even one sex. You get to pick anyone you want to.
Yeah, I
Renee,
know.
come on.
Look at me. I fail.
You don't want to hang with Angie?
No.
So number 3 would be yeah, come on. I'd have a glass of red wine with Fabio because that would be amusing.
Mm-hmm.
Can
That'll be
Flavia
fun
come too?
times.
So that might be
Flavia
interesting.
can come too. Flavia can come too.
Flavia, interesting evening for you right now.
It's a group effort.
Especially if it happens at Wimbledon.
I'd have a glass of. I'd have a glass of champagne or something with Jankovic, because I don't think she'd do anything other than champagne.
Doesn't seem like it. She don't seem like a cute bitch at all.
She's an empress, apparently. Her fans are empress.
She is. She is. And so
Your number
my
one.
number one. Tricky.
Mm.
I'll go and have some lemonade with Serena.
You wanted to teach her to twerk, don't you? I think that's what it is.
Reels does not do that. Reels is only.
She ain't got nothing to teach there. Sorry.
Sorry.
Not sorry. I am sorry.
Oh, do you hear that? Do you hear that, fans? That is a finger snap, okay? Rennie finger snapping over his okay. All right.
Finger snapping in Roma.
Well, it'll be fun. You'll be able. You can ask her that yourself. You can. Oh my God! Is this the first time you all are going to be able to interview Serena post Lemonade?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow, that should be fun for
I know,
all of
right?
y'all. That's going to be fun for all of y'all.
I think she had all access hour today or something.
I have seen nothing on it on my timeline.
So then maybe she skipped it and we'll see it.
That would be typical.
She shows up when she wants. Oh my God.
So, Serena, are you sorry or are you not?
That's the first question someone's going to
First
ask.
question of the day.
She's gonna tell you, boy, bye.
Bye-bye. Waving her hand and strutting off towards the throne.
That's what we do. Strut out in heels in a leotard in our house. Anyway.
She showed up to the press conference in tights. I'm telling you. Television does not do justice to her booty. It is crazy. But anyway, thank you, Renee, for coming on to our show this evening. We had a lovely time, and for your top 6, which is kind of sketchy, but you know what? The ladies voted me down this week, so you know.
Just let me
you were hilarious, yes, and thank you for telling us all about Madrid. We will miss Madrid.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh,
Yeah,
anytime you can come back after Roma if you like, or send us a note about what's going on in Roma.
No, I want to nail you down for Hala. Could you come back during Hala?
Oh, nice.
If you decide to do it.
If I end up in Halle, I would be very, very happy.
You have to go to Halle because we're gonna live through you.
Yeah,
vicariously. You have to go to Halle. I know Mallorca is gonna be, fun. They're gonna be people there, off the coast. But you know what? It's what 125K event there. Anybody check out for that.
Reels, you just basically want me to go wherever Sam Groth goes, right?
Right.
Basically.
Right.
No, I mean, yes, but Sam
You
is,
know what?
we're all about.
Zip it. Zip it.
But anyway, thank you for coming on. And fans,
wait. Final. Could we just also do like a quick for anyone who's a mother that's listening, and also for our co-host Janina.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Janina, mom with the mostest.
Thank you.
And special shout out to Bridge P. Karen.
Yes. And Bridge P. Karen, who's also a mother. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Karen.
And happy Mother's Day, Mother-ish Day for Andreen because, she takes care of me, keeps me in line on this podcast. Shut it, real. And for all the mothers who listen, I know one in particular, Deborah, one of our football fans.
Fabulous,
happy Mother's
Deborah.
Day. And you know what? We didn't do something that's so poor of us. We just got on and talked to Rennie. Congratulations to Nole. And congratulations to Simona Halep, for winning Madrid.
Fabulous. And I hope you're back.
Simona, if you did nothing else this week, you made us probably would watch your match. And you know what? Lucic Baroni would probably sing twice and beat you. If you meet
Don't look for her. Don't look for her, Lucic. Leave her alone.
Leave her alone, Lucic. Losing qualifiers like you always do.
That's so disrespectful.
I know. Leave Simona alone.
Keep it real. But fans, don't forget that next week we'll be in Roma. Imaginary.
With all the gelato and with all the pizza.
But
I'm gonna be eating all the gelato and all the pizza without gaining a single pound.
I can't even with these skinny bitches. I can't even. Oh my god. But anyway. Next week we'll be doing our top 6 ladies, a brand new list. Okay, so
Oh dear Lord, I
Rome
gotta
treats
go
the
first.
ladies well, so you know.
We
So
gotta
just-
do
On your
that.
lemonade.
Yeah. Real drink orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice. Just so you know. I got no bitterness
Ciao.
in my heart.
All right.
So anyway, don't forget,
Buona
fans,
notte.
we're on iTunes, we're on Podbean, we're on YouTube, and
Lovely.
we're on Twitter.
And
Bye.
We're
also,
on Facebook.
yeah, awesome.
Yes. Also, what?
No, that was it.
Anyway,
I
so
just
fans,
wanted to
thank you
shut
for
you
listening.
down.
Don't forget to comment below and like us and share us. And thanks again, Renee. He's at Renaissance. He is amazing. And we didn't even ask you about WTA reaction. Oh my God, we're horrible hosts.
Okay.
But you know what? You would talk about that when you come back for highlights. So
Because
definitely.
there weren't that many reactions this week, so we'll see.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
There was only one reaction. What the fuck, women? What the fuck?
It's great.
All right. Good night, folks. Good night. Have a good day. Bye.